Hi everyone, it's Elizabeth here. So thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I'm just going to go ahead and talk a little bit about my life experience post Camino. So I've been off the trail. See, today's December 13th when I'm filming this. So I walked into Santiago on the 31st of October, and then the Pilgrim Mass was on the 1st of November, so that was All Saints Day. So I'm looking at about 6 weeks from being off the Camino, but I've been back in America for about 5 weeks now. So when I did come back, I had a couple things happen. Some wounds got triggered and things like that. But overall, I would say that the Camino for me has been a life transformative journey that also started the new chapter in my life. So today I'm actually wearing this butterfly dress. I kind of got it at a Black Friday sale at Goodwill, so thank you to cheap designer clothes at Goodwill. And I'm wearing this little butterfly necklace. I bought this at the age of 22 at a jewelry shop in Kannur, India, which is where I studied yoga at that time. So I guess this is symbolic toward change. Butterflies are very symbolic toward change, specifically with more of the Native American cultures. If you read about, butterfly and the spirit animal and all of its energy, you'll be able to learn and discover more about the symbolism of butterflies. So that's why I'm wearing this. It's because that journey for me was very symbolic of change. To some degree, it was also a little bit of a journey in terms of kind of coming out of the closet. I think the last couple years, I talked about it in some of my writing for the Camino. I think I was naturally progressing my spirituality, coming back to my roots of Christianity and really understanding it from the faith-based perspective and the energetics of Christianity rather than it coming from the organized religion component, which has completely wrecked and ruined a lot of the great things that come from Christianity. And I do believe, this is a video topic of itself, but I do believe that any form of spirituality can be very dogmatic and can be organized like organized religion. There are definitely some extreme forms of yoga that are very much like a religion. And when I studied yoga in southern India in 2007, my yoga guru told me that yoga is like a religion, but it's not a religion because you could believe in any god or connect to any, you could connect to Jesus or to Buddha or whoever you wanted to during that time. It was your connection between your individual soul and God. And that's a lot where you get your chin mudra from. It's the connection point. Sorry, I'm trying to do this on camera. The connection point of your individual soul and your supreme soul connects together. But it had, the yoga in itself had a lot of strict rules and guidelines, the same as some hardcore brands of religion do. So my point is, this Camino journey set me not only on a new path, but a new path in my mindset. I'm not sure really how to explain it because I think it's just a life experience that one has to go through in the birth of their maturity and the growth of their soul. Something about connecting to Christianity over the last couple years has been very grounding for me. I do live in Seattle, so the Christian community here is a lot different than what you would experience probably in southern United States, where you get a little bit more of like the hardcore Baptists and stuff like that. So I am connecting to a very ethereal form of Christianity, I guess is what I would say. And I don't know, but there's just something about it that's been super grounding, and it's just kind of made me happy. Like I'm just content and I'm just satisfied. It's like, I don't know, I lost my job, which was part of the reason, temporary reasons I've lost my job. So that will be coming back in 2019. But, going through divorce and all the rejection in the dating world and all this other junk that happened, I'm like, what else can go wrong? So it kind of makes me laugh. Like the Camino just makes me laugh about life experiences because it's like, well, I've been there, I've done that, and I've made it through that life experience, so I'll make it through this. And I remember at some point of being on the flight home, or excuse me, the flight from Santiago to Frankfurt, Germany. It was flight 1111 on Lufthansa, and I just remember being so satisfied with my life. My biggest fear in life would be to die in an airplane. I think that would be so scary. I think a lot of people don't actually fear death, they fear how they're going to die. And I remember I was like, man, if this plane went down, like, I'm really happy. Like, I was so satisfied in my life. It was so many things. Like, I've been married, I've traveled the world. I have family that loves me. I have friends that deeply care for me. So I've had all these great things in my life. I've never been like extremely rich. I don't crave to be extremely rich, but I just remember thinking like, I was like, man, if this was like my last day on earth, like I would leave this planet feeling very satisfied with how I've lived my life, which is a lot of being responsible and choosing the light versus the dark. I've never dabbled in promiscuity, or I've never dabbled in, things like drugs and hardcore drugs and stuff like that. So, or voyeurism, hedonism. I've never gone to that part in life. That stuff's not for me. It repulses me. But I don't know. I would just say that whatever shift happened on the Camino, coupled with the work that I've been doing on myself, really drastically changed and opened me up to a whole new era. And a lot of it I have to thank, part of my ex-husband. He definitely refined me, and living in Europe refined me. I was always kind of this hippie. I mean, kind of wearing this flowy dress and butterflies is kind of hippie in itself, but I think I've accepted and taken femininity on a whole new level, and I think that is very much inspired by the European culture, where you see women embracing femininity in such a way that's very different from being in the Pacific Northwest, or through very feminist dominant cultures where it's like women are trying to be and look like men. It's like they're trying to replace men rather than being side by side. And I live my life being like I want to go through my life with a guy in my life. It's the whole point of yin and yang. It's the integration and the connection of the feminine and the masculine. And the masculine has femininity in him, and the feminine has masculinity within her. And so it's this synergistic circle that is complete. And that's how I view a lot of things. But I would just say this, it's not like I'm becoming more materialistic or anything. I'm a simple person. With my ex-husband, we both have adopted minimalistic lifestyle behaviors. So usually when you go through something like the Camino and living out of a bag and living with like 3 different pieces of clothing, you tend to become a little bit more simple and minimalistic in itself. I guess in the point, I've always lived like a nomad, and through the structure of divorce, I've equipped my home with things that I love. I love old things and antiques, so you can see some of the stuff behind me. It's a lot of flowers and butterflies, or not butterflies, excuse me, birds and old things, just nature in itself, which is a lot of what our ancestors were rooted to. Even back in the 40s and 50s, they were teaching children to eat plants. Like, we're not doing that today. We're doping children's minds with, choosing Captain Crunch and stuff like that. So I guess my point is, like, this has been a new birth, a new chapter in my life. Obviously, I have no clue where that's going, but some of that includes working on my own stuff in the forms of communication to help people choose a better and healthier life path for themselves. The Camino I'm a very accepting person, and the Camino has also made me very accepting. I accept that when something enters my life, that it might be temporary, that I can't attach myself to this person or to this thing, because it can go away. And I think that's a huge lesson in the world of dating, especially after divorce. Oh man, I just thought my freedom of speech would have been taken away before my marriage. And that was the biggest blow up in my face and learning lesson. It was like, oh my God, I didn't even realize this, that the tower was crumbling that bad. And So the Camino, because on the Camino, you have to keep walking forward. You have to keep letting go. I got, attached to certain places that I stayed because it literally was like a paradise in heaven. It's these, beautiful old quintas that are like €40 set amidst upon a plantation of vineyards and orange trees and persimmons. And that was a temporary experience, and that's very much what this life is. This vessel that I'm in is very temporary. And so, yeah, the pilgrimage for me was definitely more of an inner journey toward enlightenment, God, Christ, to St. James himself, and that's not why a lot of people choose it. A lot of people just go today for more vanity reasons, or because it's a bucket list item. Like, there's no soul there. It's just like, I'm going to power through and see how many kilometers I can do a day and conquer this, which a lot of people go on it for sport and they come out a different human being. So maybe there is a path and a purpose and a reason for that. But I guess what I would just want to say is that the Camino for me was very transformative in a very positive way. It has built up my inner strength so much to where it's like that little Roman that's within me, or that little Viking, or that little Olympic athlete is very much strong today. And it's the perseverance that is going to win the fight. And so it's like, at this time of being temporarily unemployed, there are certain things that I wanted to do. And I was whinging kind of all year in my own head, thinking like, I need more time to be able to focus on my blogging or my YouTube channel and stuff. And when life presented me with several months of unemployment, I still have to work. I've picked up work at a Jewish retirement home as well. So it's like, I still have to pay my bills. But life has presented me with a little bit more time on my hands to spend on this stuff. So it is a blessing from God to some degree, if you think of it from that light. I know that kind of freaks a lot of people out talking like that, but it doesn't freak me out because I'm completely comfortable with my spirituality, just like some people are completely comfortable with their sexuality. I'm just very much in tune with the spiritual realm of the light. I don't really dabble in certain things. I don't go into magic and all that stuff. I am a mystical human being that believes in Christian values and Christianity and the story of Jesus. So, yeah, anyways, those are some things that has been within me. So it'll be kind of interesting going back to watching my videos from before I left, because I know I got emotional in one of them, talking about divorce and things like that. And I'm so very thankful for that journey and that experience to have been able to do it. It's a very big blessing in my life. And I think studying yoga in India at 22 was a very big blessing in my life. So at these really fun ages, I've been able to do some incredible journeys that have been combinations of spiritual soul development experiences that probably will help me with my career. I mean, I have kind of made a little bit of a career out of yoga. So anyways, these are my thoughts about that. If you've been on the Camino, I would love to hear how the Camino has changed your life, whether for the good or the bad. Probably mostly for the good, but life happens, and sometimes certain experiences aren't always positive. But please subscribe below if you'd like. You can help me out on Patreon, or just give me support by subscribing to this channel, liking, commenting, sharing the links. Whatever you would like to contribute is very much grateful on my end. And thank you so much for listening. And if you are doing the Camino, I wish you the best of luck. The Camino will give you what you need. And yeah, stay positive. All right. Talk soon. Bye.